Hello students, welcome to my channel Science No Problem. My name is Tish Kumar Sharma and I am teaching you science. So my dear students, like our previous videos, this video is also going to be very informative and very useful. So please watch the video till end. And my dear students, the only request to all of you is to like, share and subscribe our channel to motivate and support me so as to bring you far better and far more useful and far more informative videos in future as well. So my dear students, without wasting any time, let's start our today's video. So before starting our today's videos, let's take a quick recapitulation of the things which we have studied in our previous video. So my dear students, in our previous video I explained how carbon makes covalent bonds by sharing electrons, uh, and we had taken certain examples by which I have shown you how covalent bonds are formed. So my dear students, our last video is actually must watch video, because these are the very basic things of chemistry, how actually bonds are formed. Please watch our previous video if you don't know how covalent bonds are formed. And my dear students, today our topic is occurrence of carbon. That how carbon occurs, how carbon is found in nature. So carbon is found in nature in two states, in number one in free state and number two in combined state. So diamond, graphite and Buckminster fullerenes. Buckminster fullerenes. So my dear students, these are found in free state. What is the meaning of free state? Free state in the sense that diamond is purely made up of only carbon atoms. Similarly, graphite and similarly Buckminster fullerenes. So all these substances are formed of only carbon atoms. And in combined state, again in combined state carbon is found as organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Now organic compounds include food nutrients such as proteins, fats and vitamins. My dear students, these are organic compounds of carbon and then organic compounds also include carbohydrates, and carbohydrates include glucose, starch and sugar. So all these are made up of carbon compounds and then hydrocarbons. For example, methane, this is ethane. CH4 is the chemical formula of methane and C2H6 is the formula of ethane. So here also carbon is you can see here, this is that it is found in combined state. It is combining with hydrogen. Carbon is combining with hydrogen. And then organic compounds also include organic acids. Organic acids are carbonic acid and this is acetic acid. Formula of carbonic acid is H2CO3 and CH3COOH is the formula of acetic acid. And you can see here that carbon is found in combined state. It is found with hydrogen and oxygen. And then we have alcohols. So my dear students, these are all organic compounds of carbon and then second of this combined state is inorganic compounds. So for example, oxides of carbon, that is carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Formula of carbon dioxide is CO2 and formula of carbon monoxide is C and O. So this is combined, this is combined state of carbon with oxygen. Then salts, again calcium carbonate actually this is calcium carbonate. So here carbon is combined with calcium and oxygen, and these are inorganic compounds, my dear students. Remember this. This is very very important. What are inorganic compounds and these are organic compounds? So carbon actually makes inorganic compounds as well as organic compounds. So in this chapter actually we are dealing with organic compounds actually. So we were talking about salts. Yes, limestone, marble and chalk. My dear student, they all are actually calcium carbonate. They are all are made up of calcium carbonate. Actually, there is a question which is asked in actually exams also, final exams in CBSE board, that what is the chemical formula for marble or sometimes chalk or sometimes limestone. So this question is generally asked in paper. So please remember this, that chemical formula of chalk or marble or limestone is calcium carbonate. And then actually sodium carbonate. So this is also salt and carbon is contained here also. So sodium carbonate, this is also known as washing soda. So these are actually the compounds in which carbon is found in combined state. So my dear students, I hope this is understood to you. And now our next topic is carbon is tetravalent. Carbon is tetravalent. So this was occurrence of carbon. Once again, let me tell you, carbon is found in actually two states, free state and combined state. In free state are found diamond, graphite and Buckminster fullerenes. And in combined state, actually two types of carbon compounds are there. In combined state, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. And organic compounds include food nutrients, which are proteins, fats, vitamins, and carbohydrates, which include glucose, sugar and starch, hydrocarbons, methane, ethane, organic acids, carbonic acid, acetic acid and alcohols. And in inorganic compounds, for example, oxides, and oxides of carbon are CO2 and CO, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And salts are calcium carbonate. So here carbon is actually in a compound form, combined form with calcium and oxygen. And chemical formula for limestone, marble and chalk is calcium carbonate. And then sodium carbonate, actually, which is washing soda. So my dear students, these are the states in which carbon occurs in nature. So now next topic is tetravalency of carbon. Carbon is tetravalent. So my dear students, let's see how carbon is tetravalent. Carbon is tetravalent. Carbon is tetravalent. We can show this by, because valency of carbon is 4. So my dear students, how we actually come to know about valency? I have actually taught you how to find valencies of different elements. So my dear students, in our chapter chemical reactions and chemical equations, I have taught in detail how to calculate valencies of different elements. So please watch that video. And so for this, for knowing valency, we must know actually atomic number. Atomic number of carbon is 6 and electronic configuration is 2 and 4. So my dear students, I have also taught how to write electronic configuration of different various elements. So this also I have explained in the chapter chemical reactions and chemical equations. So please watch videos of that chapter. So thoroughly I have explained all these things. So now how many electrons are there in outermost shell? Outermost shell is very very important, whether it is to know valency or whether it is actually bond formation. So in all these actually things, outermost shell is very important. So now how many electrons are there in outermost shell? 4. So its valency is 4. So valency of carbon is 4. Valency of carbon is 4. Now my dear students, if you remember, so I had told you that actually there was a table which we had made, so in which valency were like this: 1 2 3 4, and then 3 2 1 0, like this. So 4 was the maximum valency. So actually valency of carbon is 4, which is actually very large valency. So what is the effect of this? It means that actually carbon can combine with 4 atoms at a time, different atoms or same atoms it can combine. So actually what happens, there is another thing which is very important about carbon, that carbon is actually very friendly element, very friendly and very social. So it can actually combine with any non-metal, like for example hydrogen, chlorine, sulfur, even phosphorus, nitrogen, oxygen. So it can actually combine with any non-metal, and you will be surprised to know that even it can combine with actually sodium also, metals also. It can combine with even metals also. It is so social. So being so social and having this valency 4, which is actually very high valency, large valency. So actually carbon forms a large number of compounds. Carbon forms a large number of compounds. So my dear students, actually valency of carbon is 4. So there it can actually combine in many ways with other atoms of other elements. So this is one of the reasons that carbon has a large number of compounds, or carbon makes large number of compounds. So due to actually its actually this social nature, and due to this high valency of carbon, which is 4. So my dear students, I think this is clear to you. Then we have very important property exhibited by carbon, that is catenation. So my dear students, this property catenation. Catenation. What is the meaning of catenation? Means self combination. Self combination. So my dear students, catenation is the property by which carbon combines with itself. Carbon combines with carbon to make a large, to make a long chain. So the property of self combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain is called catenation. The property of self combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain is called catenation. Like can show this like this, and so on. So my dear students, the property by which the property of self combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain of carbon atoms is called catenation. So due to this property, a carbon has large number of compounds, because you can understand that if we have one atom of carbon, this is one substance, and there are some compounds where we have 2 atoms of carbon and 3 atoms of carbon. So in this way we can have thousands of actually compounds of carbon. And you would be surprised to know that a long chain of carbon, a chain of carbon can contain even thousands of carbon atoms. So due to this is unique property of carbon. Actually this property is not actually all elements are not gifted to have this property. So my dear students, carbon is actually blessed with many properties. So that is why it is so important, and it has so many compounds. So due to this catenation, carbon can form large number of compounds. And my dear students, there is another element that is silicon that shows this property. But the chain of silicon atoms can have only 7 or 8 silicon atoms, not beyond this. Reason is that actually silicon atom is large in size as compared to carbon. So the compounds of silicon are not very stable. On the other hand, carbon can make a compound which can have even thousands of carbon atoms. Now, and the compounds of carbon are also very stable. Why? Because the size of carbon is very small. So actually the shared pair of electrons which forms the bond between 2 carbon atoms, so that lies very close to the nucleus of these 2 atoms. So what is the effect of that? That the bond formed is very strong. So as a result of that, the compounds made of carbon are very stable compounds. So my dear students, the compounds made by carbon are very stable due to small size, and the reason I have explained, that in the shared pair that lies very close to the nucleus of both these atoms, and therefore attraction is these 2 atoms are attracted with a large force. So as a result of that, the compounds of carbon are very stable. So this is due to small size of a carbon atom. So my dear students, I had taught you that what is the reason for the carbon to have so large number of chemical compounds. And the reason first was the tetravalency of carbon, which is very large. So, and the friendly nature of carbon, because it can combine with any non-metals, or it can combine with even metal also, and its valency is large. So it can combine in different number of ways to form large number of compounds. Second is small size of carbon atom, and due to small size, the compounds made up of carbon are very stable. And then catenation, that is self combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain. So my dear students, this is all for today. So I hope that what I taught you today is understood to you very well. So if you actually didn't understand, then please actually watch the video once again. And still if you didn't understand, then please write in comment box the point where which you didn't understand. And so that's all for today. So if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe our channel. And thank you very much for watching this video. So keep watching our channel, keep learning and keep growing. Good luck.